So many people are stuck in a mental prison where they interpret this world from a place of heaviness. They cannot shift those perceptions easily because they haven't been given the tools. They haven't found that pathway that opens the mind up in order to free the spirit to reach into connectivity to everything, every frequency that exists out there. This is why I share what I do, because none of us are truly ever alone. I share for you, the person who struggles within their mind, the person who feels trapped and detached and doesn't know the way out. It's not because I have all the answers for you. It's because I found that pathway of freedom within me, where I don't exist from a space of being trapped in heaviness anymore. And this is what I believe is our purpose here. When we tap into these parts of ourselves that have opened us up and brought us so much contentment within our existence, our journey here, this is what we are able to offer out to others who are stuck. This is for those who are receptive to my words and what I have to offer. The mind is where we exist from, majority of our life. Everything takes place through our perceptions that we interpret this life from. It is what holds the power to either your greatest of blessings or your biggest hindrance in life. As human beings, we put everything into little compartments, and so often, even when we find a place of opening up that deeper layer into self, we will still only have it with one little avenue that we find a place of freedom toward, until you can associate it to every blockage you will ever face in life and come to this understanding that the place where it needs to shift is in the perception that you are currently existing from, because your perception is the only thing that creates blocks for you. When we free our perceptions to be more vast, this is what frees your energy to reach into any energy out there, because all of it is us. Every frequency that exists out there, it flows through you. The only thing that puts a block is that you are stuck within one of those little compartments of perceptions that keep you staying at a certain frequency. It becomes the foundation of what you pull into your world. When you open up your mind, those compartments that you are so used to functioning under, because this is the human way, right? They are lifted, and all of a sudden you are able to spot the blockages when you are presented with them, and you will work through it in order to lift and find the place of existing in a receptive manner, away from the blockages that keep your spirit trapped and unable to move into that vastness of all energies being accessible to you. There is no limit to what you can tap into. It's the interpretations, those overstimulated thoughts that create these blockages, and they are often implemented into us in our foundational years. We do not come here with blockages. We come here as pure energy, pure, ready to take on anything that we are met with. And that is exactly where it starts. What we are presented with, what we witness throughout the most impactful stages of our life are what set the tone to how we will perceive ourselves. And the way we perceive ourselves is exactly the world we see taking place outside of us. The mind is what creates the outcome of everything we see taking place outside of us. Those beliefs that we form, this is what puts a cap over our ability to truly ascend into frequencies that we have never reached before. To truly tap into your light energy, it means expanding your mind to understand the process of why we encounter so much heaviness, because when we do this, it creates such an energetic force that holds the power to lift the vibrations and continuously reach into endless frequencies of ascension. It is all taking place because energy in its truest form cannot expand without coming in to a physical body first. It must come into a sensory experience and meet all these different reflections of what it already is. You are everything. Every face, every display, every different form of life embodies soul. That soul comes back to the one consciousness of Source itself. That is what fuels all beings in this existence, and every existence, wherever it is, whatever it is, that is the fuel for these vessels that we call life. Doesn't matter the form. We are given different sensory intake capabilities because upon those unique interpretations that those life forms will be able to intake, it creates something new into the mix and grows and forever expands the one source frequency. God is what many label it as, right? But God is all of it. God is the light and the dark, the heaven and the hell, the angel and the devil. It is all those contrasting energies, the embodiment of all of it. Nothing blocks me, because everything I see outside of me is just another version of me, because I understand I am source frequency. That is what fuels my being. So when I'm met with the negativity, I don't hold grudges. It doesn't stop me in my tracks. I don't put limitation upon myself because I understand it's a version of myself, an energy that I have already experienced and felt moving through me. It is a part of me. We each reflect back something we've already met within ourselves. It's just because the displays are shown to us so differently that we believe it's different to what moves through us, and it's not true. Dark energy, heavy energy, whatever you want to call it, that moves through all of us. So what I'm getting at here is that every single blockage you've ever faced, it is not life going against you. Life never goes against you. Only your thoughts do. Your perception is what has you repeating negative cycles. That is it. When you can see that it's the mind that keeps you trapped in these repetitive cycles that you so wish to leave behind and open up new doors and chapters into something that is going to be of a higher frequency, this is when you take your power back, because you understand that if there is anything that is ever presenting to you that is of heaviness, you hold the choice always within you whether you will allow it to remain in your experience or whether you are ready to cut that energetic cord. The minute you free the mind from seeing the heaviness as a burden, you start to embrace your love energy. Your love energy is allowing yourself to rise above the blockages of the mind, the interpretations of all the minds out there that keep limits on so many people from truly tapping into their unlimited potential. This is the point of freedom that I wish to offer out, because when we shift our mindset, this is what has us being able to reach further into the vastness of all energies. We remove the compartments that the human mind so often puts four walls around and keeps us from really truly coming back to that connection point that we are interconnected with all things in existence. There is nothing that is separate to us. Everything is just another interpretation of that source energy being presented with a different face, a different label, a different interpretation. But the underlying core of all of us is God source frequency. When we become so aware and we are able to see the blessing behind the heaviness and that harshness of life, we no longer get restricted by fear, because you understand the bigger purpose. It goes far beyond the me. In any journey of life, when you tap into this truth, because you understand the impact we all have on each other, that all life has within every experience we will encounter, it is a necessity for us to experience contrast of energies, because that is what grows us. That is the blueprint of our evolution.